Hello, my name's Tom and I'm a sports nutritionist here at Discount Supplements. Now, arguably the most widely discussed and talked about diet at the moment is the Paleolithic diet, or the Paleo diet. Now, you may or may not have heard of this particular diet, but basically it stems from the eating habits of the Paleolithic man. So, our ancestors from thousands and thousands of years ago, what they would have eaten. You didn't have a local supermarket or a convenience store that you could pop into to grab some food at your convenience. You had to eat what you could hunt or gather, basically. Now, this particular diet, and rightly so, has had a lot of attention. People are saying, is it right, is it good to do this? And it's had a lot of support as well. I love the fact that people question these new diets. It's important. It keeps people true and honest. But do I believe that this particular diet, the Paleo diet, deserves the title Fad Diet? Well, in my honest opinion, no, I don't think it does. Do I feel it should be your final destination for everything that is nutrition? Again, no, I don't think it should. So do I agree then that the Paleolithic diet, or the caveman diet, or hunter-gatherer diet, whatever you want to call it, is a valid strategy for maintaining your hard-earned lean muscle mass, strip off any excess body fat, and potentially, and I say potentially, improve chronic and long-term health? And my answer to that is quite possibly. Now, proponents of the diet, the Paleolithic diet, include the well-known fitness model and personal trainer Rob Ritchie's. You can see a lot of these videos on the internet. They're quite insightful and interesting to watch. As well as A-list stars such as Jessica Biel, Miley Cyrus, Megan Fox, and the all-round beauty Miss USA 2011 Shannon Ford. Now, by no means am I saying you should have a go at this, but should you want to have a little go and you want to try it and see for yourself, then here are 5 tips to help you apply it. Tip number 1. Our bodies are thought to be genetically programmed to eat like our Paleolithic ancestors, still even now. Therefore, follow a diet that mainly consists of foods that you can gather or hunt. Now, I'm not implying you should run out into the bush and try and hunt an animal. Obviously, you can't do that nowadays. But the foods you can still source, and these include fish, white and red meat, game, organ meats such as kidney, liver, and on occasion heart, eggs, fruit and vegetables, and nuts. Now, get used to the idea of not consuming, and this is fact tip number 2. It is important to get used to not consuming foods which are only readily available after the agricultural developments we've seen in the modern era, such as milking cows, harvesting, growing food in fields, and what have you. So this would include not having grains, dairy, processed sugar, legumes such as beans, peas and pulses, and even, would you believe, potatoes, and processed oils such as sunflower or rapeseed oil, things like this. Now, I don't agree with any diet that particularly totally excludes a food group. I think you run the risk of missing out on micronutrients, trace elements such as vitamins and minerals, and even macronutrients such as protein, carbs, fat. If you play about with it too much, you do run the risk of missing out on some of these. However, the Paleolithic diet is relatively balanced and does cater to, so for example, you cut out a bit of dairy with this particular diet. You can still get your calcium sources through the green leafy veg and brassicas, things like that. Now, on to tip number 3, the addition of salt and the consumption of manufactured beverages other than water and tea, or ideally organic green tea or something like that, is not strictly conducive to a Paleolithic diet. Although I do feel that supplementation of protein, creatine and the likes of is often necessary if you're trying to lean up or put on lean muscle mass or bulk. However, these wouldn't ordinarily be conducive to a strict original Paleolithic diet. Now on to tip number 4. Avoid sugar such as sucrose, table sugar, which is the sugar you'd put in your tea or coffee, for example, as well as highly processed confectionery such as sweets and chocolate, and actually even watch out for fruit juices. And the reason being is that fruit juices have something known as non-milk extrinsic sugars, which basically means that the sugar in fruit juice is external from the cell it originally came from. So an apple or an orange would have all of its sugar packed inside the cell. And once that sugar is out of the cell, you increase your risk of dental caries, so damage to your teeth. It has a more rapid increase in blood sugar levels compared to fruit itself. There's lots of factors. So on to tip number 5. And this is an important one. As with any diet or lifestyle, stay open-minded. Now I choose to take the Fifth Amendment here, and yes, I may have splinters in my arse because I'm sitting on the fence. But I stand by the principle that if you want a diet that's lower in processed foods, these hydrogenated fats, salt and excessive sugars, and one that battles to keep your calories in control, gets reasonable macronutrient balance, and one which is generally healthy on the outside, then the paleo diet ticks the box. So on this basis alone then, I feel the paleo diet may support chronic, it may, and I say may here, may support chronic and long-term health if done properly. So am I saying you should go out and start the Paleolithic diet? Then no, I'm not saying you should do that off my recommendation. Nothing I say is prescriptive here. However, hopefully this has given you a bit of insight, given you an idea into it. Should you choose to do it, great. If not, great too. I hope this has been of some use, and we'll have another video up next week. Thanks for listening.